Welcome to Great GREYS, your one-stop shop to finding winners from the world of greyhound racing. Host David Shortte is joined by Australia's premier greyhound form students, including Harry Buchanan from the Greyhound Insider, Joe Lanuti from Greyhounds HQ, Neil Brown previewing the Sandown action, Sean Matheson looking at South Australian chasing, and Simon Orchard with the latest in New South Wales chasing.
Good morning and welcome along to Great GREYS on this Thursday, the 21st of December 2023, our final show for this year. Thanks for your company throughout the course of 2023. Let's catch up with our great mate Harry Buchanan. Of course, H has been a regular with us now for a number of years. We also team up with the podcast on a Wednesday, the Coast to Coast podcast, and the Mail Collection on a Friday afternoon. It's great to have him for the final time in 2023 here on Great GREYS. Welcome to you, H. How do we find you today?
Good morning, Shorty. Good morning, listeners. And you find me very well, thank you, mate. A little bit wet here today, but nevertheless, it's building up to a big weekend. And then, of course, a couple of days off next week for Christmas. So I'm sure everyone and their families are looking forward to that. And hopefully we can find a few winners before that occurs.
Yeah, most definitely. I hope to cover the costs of some of the Chrissy Prezzies. Wet, did you say? How does that work? It hasn't been too much of that going on over here. It's been steaming hot over here in the west.
Absolutely belted down yesterday and has continued today. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but it's a balmy 17 degrees here, Shorty, so the air conditioner will be coming out shortly.
Oh, my goodness. That's incredible scenes. The contrast from one side of the country to the other, it is quite remarkable. We've got lots to look forward to here locally. We had a tremendous weekend of chasing last weekend. Of course, Couchsurfer taking out the Christmas gift final. But last Friday night there at Mandurah, absolutely superb night of chasing. Of course, we had the Dawesville Cup heats. A number of the real genuine up-and-comers of WA greyhound racing were there strutting their stuff. And Cubit Manelli was extraordinary. My Anarchy Boy, tremendous in its heat win. Kenya Refine was a really good heat winner. And Carter Axelrod, really strong, taking out the fourth of those Dawesville Cup heats. But it's one of the better nights of chasing I can remember seeing for a little while, and some genuine up-and-comers here in WA that have really stamped themselves as high-quality performers off what was a very good night.
Absolutely, Shorty. It was a ripper night last week, and a couple of these young dogs have really come to the fore. And as you mentioned, Cubit Manelli, that's his second track record now. He lowered the 400-metre record, and then he lowered the 488, 26, 78, 556 early. He's just electric, this greyhound, and he's really promising. My Anarchy Boy, he's also very, very good. He's taken that corner start and that Mandurah track superbly, and he carved out at 26.98. Kenya Refine was also good. He ran 27.30. The favourite in that, I think, was Sunset Mirage. He just got a little bit of trouble, but Kenya Refine's going really well for Lewis Clay at the moment. We've got a ripper final this weekend. Cubit Manelli's drawn very, very well indeed, back into box 2 there. He's going to take some stopping short. He just needs that little bit of space for that first 10 metres, and he accelerates very, very quickly. And we're seeing some really promising dogs at the moment. We even saw a couple last night. There was a 29.4 from the Hobby Kennel last night. The track is obviously a little bit quick at the moment at Cannington, but yeah, there's a big crop of young dogs that are about to take the step up in 2024, Shorty, and we're going to see a really good final on Friday night that's chock-block full of them.
Indeed. You speak of Sunset Tyson there last night, taking out a novice grade 5 for Dave Hobby in electric time. And, of course, now what we've seen from this son of Sunset Spitfire is something similar to what the father Sunset Spitfire was doing for a little bit there. Just a very, very slick performance, and greyhound that looks to have a lot of upside.
He certainly does, and Sunset Spitfire seems to throw a very quick dog, doesn't he, in his limited opportunities, and he might be a little bit underrated as a sire. This bloke, he's been used predominantly locally, but he's thrown some very, very fast dogs. They do have dad's traits that they take a little bit to get going, and they're not real leg pingers, but they have a dazzling acceleration, some of these dogs, and last night he just carved them up, didn't he? And I think D Hobby might have had the place getters as well, and they were only 5 lengths in arrears. So they're also going a really quick time. He's a promising sire, Sunset Spitfire, so I hope he gets a lot more opportunities because he's throwing some really fast dogs at the moment.
Yeah, went home with the winner as well in the last, Sunset Blackhawk, who's a real fairy floss bandit, just loves it out there. Another daughter of Sunset Spitfire that's got that electric sort of burn. Once it just gets a couple of steps to muster, and it's zoomed around the outside for an impressive win to round out the program as well. So looking forward to seeing those Sunset Spitfire greyhounds in the upcoming months and years. And the other race we touched on, of course, we have got the final on Friday night there of the Dawesville Cup, and great to see Hamo up. It's been up for a while too with this market for the final, and we see Cubitt Manelli at a prohibitive quote $1.60 in the red to take out the feature final. My Anarchy Boy $4.20, $5.50 for Nangar Bubbles. Carter Axelrod at $13, West on Bambi off $21 chance. Kenya Refine likewise, as is West on Gecko. The first reserve there, Minyong at 26, Redhead Rider at 34, and the second reserve, Power of Molly 100 to 1. It's a pretty cramped quote, $1.60 Cubitt Manelli, but when you put the time on the board like this greyhound has at its last few starts there over 400 and 500 metres, you're just basically betting on whether or not it gets the start right.
That's all you're betting on, Shorty, is that first 10 metres, a little bit of room, getting the start right. Last week he had a couple of wide runners outside him, and it made his job a lot easier. It's not going to be so simple this week. I don't know that $1.60's all that enticing. He's probably entitled to be that price, but Nangar Bubbles has got speed, Redhead Rider, and My Anarchy Boy swishes out as well. So you're really looking at this dog. If he does make an error, there are more than capable dogs in this race that will capitalise immediately. Even West on Bambi inside him can step. So, yeah, look, he's probably the right price, but, yeah, you're just going to be betting on the start. So I think Carter Axelrod's a great each-way play, $13 and $3. Jay Jacobson's done a ripper job with this dog, and he was first up there last week, and he was superb. My Anarchy Boy, well, I mean, he was the track record holder till last week, so you're getting $4.20 about him. West on Gecko, well, he doesn't mind a bit of floss. He certainly is well drawn out wide. And Nangar Bubbles is going to be hard to catch if she loses. So a couple of variables there, but in saying that, if they let him run, they'll be running for second. And I do speak of Cubitt Manelli. So good race, looking forward to it. The first probably 25 metres is going to decide where this race ends up.
Yeah, most definitely. It'll be an absolute beauty there. 17 minutes after 8 Friday night there at Mandurah. It is the Greyhounds WA Dawesville Cup final, and will be one of the genuine highlights of this upcoming weekend. All right, Harry, let's see if we can't find a few winners for the punters for Thursday night chasing. We'll kick things off locally. We've got a bumper 12-race card this evening out there at Mandurah. I quite like the looks of this particular program. Who are you teaming up with tonight there at Mandurah?
Yeah, I've got a couple of plays short in. The markets have just opened, and I'm a little surprised at a couple of these prices. So a bit of each-way value, which is good. We'll kick it off in race 2, number 5, Limited Gas. Look, the field's not full of winners, to put it with all due respect, and this dog itself's only won 1 from 25, so she hasn't won a great deal of races either. But she's been placed 10 times and 2 placings from 2 at this track. So she's got no issues with the new Mandurah circuit. And this whole litter, they sort of, once they get a bit of room, they work home really well. I just thought in this sort of race that if she got a look turning the home, she'd at least hit the frame here. You're getting around $5.50 at the moment. So I think it's a good each-way bet. As I said, if she doesn't get the cash, she can at least hit the frame on the each-way basis. Over to race 5 here. Well, number 1, Prompt Response, he opened up $7. He's into $6 now, and I'm surprised at that. I thought he'd be much shorter. I know he's a little enigmatic, and I know his box 1 record isn't that flash, but I thought he had genuine excuses for a few of those too, considering 2 of them were at Cannington over that 380. So when he gets going, this dog, he goes really quick along the fence, and I just thought if he stepped with them tonight, he could at least go with them, and he's certainly strong on the run home, and he's a 2-time winner already from this track from 5 starts. So another dog you get a great each-way price about. It's a good competitive race, but he does have the box to do something. Finish it off with race 7. Now, box 5 isn't normally that enticing over the 300 metres in a free-for-all, but Luke's Cole in box 5, he's got good odds buzz inside him. A little bit of pace goes left, and he's got Watch Me outside him. So his map is really good here. The problem is his box manners, but he has been known to step on occasion, and his last run was really good behind Good Odds Buzz. He made a lot of ground after bombing the start. He can begin better than that, and if he does tonight, he'll put himself in this race. He's around $8, and he's another great each-way bet. Race 2, number 5, race 5, number 1, race 7, number 5 at Mandurah this evening. Shorty.
Beautifully done. The thoughts of Harry Buchanan this evening there at Mandurah. Our first race for broadcast today, punters, is just around the corner. It's race number 1 there at Gosford. Having a look at the fixed odds market with Tab Touch. It's a maiden here over the mile. Doroskaya, our current favourite, $2.35 into $1.60. It's been very well backed. We see the Impeccable 4 into $3.70. Quinky Deal, $5.50 out to $8.50. Just Boogie's been easy to back, 8 out to $16. Glory Start, 11 out to $17. Beachman, 16 to $21. Yachty, 23 to $26. French Delivery, 26 to $71. And Misata, the outsider or equal outsider of the field, it opened 126. It's now into 71. It's been pretty much one-way traffic, though, with the fave here at Gosford. Doroskaya, 235 into 160. Bit of money on the second line there for the Impeccable, 4 into 370. But punters keen to team up with the odds-on Doroskaya in the first here at Gosford. It's due in just under 4 minutes' time. Harry, let's move on to the program tonight at Sandown. You've got a few plays for us there?
Yeah, pretty keen here tonight, Shorty. I'm going to kick it off in race 5. Number 5, Andre Bale. I've been patient, really patient. Stuck with him the last few starts. His run was better than it looked last week. He made a really poor decision turning for home when he should have stayed on the fence. He gets a real big drop in company here. This is much easier than what he's faced recently. Down to a grade 4-5. He's been racing the much better races. He can win over the 5.95, but he can also sprint. If he's close here, I don't think they'll hold him off. Just want to see him get up there early and get a position. He's going to have to run top 2 with that early scratching, no reserves. Over to race 6 here. Number 3, Akina Jack. Gee, I like this dog. Last week they had a crack at the Sale Cup heats, and he was huge for his first go at 6.40. Prior to that, he'd only had one start over this track and trip here over the 5.95. And it was just that last little bit that saw him out, and it was Jarek Bale, the seasoned performer, who had to run over him late. He just missed the frame, but he was only beaten 1.8 lengths in the end. He goes really quick, about 100 metres after the start, this dog. Prior to that, he was superb behind Fab's Vegetable. He can win tonight. He's short enough. He's around even money at the moment, but I just think he's the best dog in the race. A clear run. He'll put these away. Go down to race 9. We'll finish it off with number 5 here. Here Comes Blue. This is another dog that's been racing through the feature race series, went through the Silver Chief and got rolled at Sale last start. But prior to that, it does have a second here behind Fernando Phil. And it actually went 29.38 in defeat. If it repeats that, it gets the job done. It's won its only start off box 5. Has won here, placed twice from 4 starts, so it has no issues with the track and trip. Short enough at 260, but I think if he steps tonight, he will put these away. They'll be the 3 key plays: race 6, number 5, race 6, number 3, race 9, number 5. And we'll keep an eye on our old mates, the ethanols. They're in the earlier race 2 or 3, I think. Water and Volume, both going superbly at the moment, and they square off against each other in race 3 tonight. So boxes 3 and 6, Ethanol Volume and Ethanol Water. So they get a look at them, Shorty. We know what they can do. They're worth keeping an eye on as well tonight.
They look the beautiful play, sort of to bank up to run first, second, third, second, third sort of play in that particular race for the novelties. You know, they're both going to be really charging home late and hitting the line. That's a litter that we have taken a bit of a shine to in recent weeks.
Absolutely, and Ethanol Water was superb last week. She got a nice, clean early run. She went 29.38. She repeats that, she wins, but I've got a bit of time for the other bloke, Ethanol Volume. I know he races around the middle of the track, but yeah, one of these days it's all going to put together, and hopefully that'll be tonight. And as you said, they're good roving style plays. Couple of them up. They should be somewhere around the frame, both of them. Really keen to see what they do tonight.
Beautiful work. Good on you, Harry. Appreciate your time as always here on Great Grace. Thanks for your support throughout the course of the year of this particular program. We'll catch you again in 2024, and I'll team up with you again tomorrow afternoon for the Mail Collection podcast for the last time this year. We'll look to find all of the winners for a busy weekend of chasing upcoming. All the very best.
Absolutely, and Merry Christmas to all our listeners. Thank you very much. Looking forward to 2024. Thanks, Shorty.
Thank you very much, Leah, and we'll be now joined by Jaycin Campbell, who's been outstanding throughout the course of this year here on Great GREYS. Tremendous to catch up with him for the last time in 2023. Welcome to you, Jace. How do we find you today?
Yeah, very well, Shorty. How are you, mate?
Going beautifully, thanks, and looking forward to more great chasing over the next couple of nights into a big weekend. How's things shaping up for your good self? Got a busy Christmas booked up, catching up with family and friends?
Yeah, quite a busy Christmas for me. Definitely catching up with family and friends, so it's got to be good to have a bit of off time, Shorty. As you know, there's not much time off in this industry, so it'd be nice to have a week or so off and get back into the form in 2024. It's been a great 2023, and I appreciate you guys having me on board.
No, it's been great to have you as a member of our team. You've done a fine job, and looking forward to finding some more winners for the punters tonight. Chasing, of course, at Albion Park, also down there in Hobart. Let's get into the card this evening up there at the creek at Albion Park tonight. Who should we be teaming up with?
Yeah, kicking off nice and early, race 1. Happy to play the 8 here, Cleopatra Hayes. Quite often with young dogs, you probably, I see a lot of chit-chatter around wanting inside boxes just so they don't destroy their confidence. And this dog has had that. However, I think she needs outside. I think she's very well boxed here in the 8. The 7 wants to crash towards the rails, and I think she'll just steer clear of trouble. She is a 30 and 19 winner out of box 6, so I think that just proves my point that she does go quite well from outside boxes. So I think she'll kick off the night in the right style, Shorty. Best of the night for me at Albion Park.
All right, get the night off to a flyer there at Albion Park. Race 1, number 8, Cleopatra Hayes, labelled the BB for Jaycin Campbell tonight. Where else are we having a play?
Race 2, number 1, Copacetic, was a heavily supported on debut. I think it was about $12 in the 280, suggesting that it had trialled well over track and trip. Didn't get the money on that occasion, Shorty. However, went to Capalaba, once again saw heavy support. Did get the job done. Only went 20 and 20, did balk at the line. I'm not too concerned about that because that can happen quite often for dogs having their first look at Capalaba as they're running straight into a wall. So I think box 1 tonight will suit. Not a lot of speed drawn outside it from the 2 and the 3. I think you'll find the rails quite comfortably and prove very hard to hold out at $4.20.
Excellent. So getting it early tonight, 1-8 Cleopatra Hayes, 2-1 Copacetic, and the third of the plays there?
Yeah, best 8, race 9, number 8 for me, Inconspicuous. Sound like a bit of a broken record, Shorty. I've tipped this dog pretty much week in, week out with mixed success so far. Just think he's very well suited to small fields and pretty much throughout the whole 2023. I think this is the weakest best 8 race I've seen. None of these dogs have really won at this level for a very, very long time. The current second favourite, Mr. Springtime's coming off races in Masters Company and Grade 4 Company. So I think he's extremely overvalued here in the market, and I think Inconspicuous is a young dog on the rise and should be very hard to hold out.
Okay, so 3 plays tonight there at Albion Park. Race 1, number 8, Cleopatra Hayes, the best of them. Race 2, number 1, Copacetic. Race 9, number 8, Inconspicuous. Let's head down to Tasmania, chasing there tonight at Hobart.
Yeah, playing race 1, number 4, Colts 45. Not sure if this dog's been named after a harness horse. Someone might have to tell me that, but I swear I've seen a horse named similar. Regardless, we do get a bit of a leg up here as punters. A lot of these dogs had trials leading into a Breeders' Classic series down there. And Colt 45 didn't trial particularly fast overall, but has shown really good first and second sections, quite quicker than this current favourite Interrogation at $2.60. I just think dropping back to the 340, he can bounce and run, get on the arm, and hopefully be very hard to run down. Only playing him on the place just because I'm a bit unsure how strong he is in the finish.
That's fair enough. Race 1, number 4, Colt 45, to live up to that recent trial. Moving a bit deeper into the card.
Yeah, race 5, number 1 for me. Speak Now. Had 26 starts for 2 wins. So got a question as application, Shorty. So playing on a place line only. This dog's only had box 1 once, which it has placed. Run second in a okay 1970. And then its best time, 1964, comes out of box 2. So I think this dog's career has been somewhat cruelled by bad boxes. I think it goes a lot better off the inside. And I'm a little bit concerned about the favourite, Scraps Ahoy. It's had 8 starts from the pink, and it hasn't registered a win or place yet. So I think even money's a little short for it. And I think Speak Now could probably win the race, but I'm just happy to play it on the place line.
Okay, so we'll go conservative, safety first there, race 5, number 1, Speak Now, but good explanation of why he likes that particular race and potential danger there for the fave, who doesn't have great records when it comes to exiting the wide draw. And the third play tonight there at Hobart, you're saving the best till last.
Yeah, best to last, Shorty. Masters 340, race 9, number 8, Fancy Like. I think she really does enjoy wide boxes here. She was a brilliant winner 5 starts back from box 7 in 1943. 2 starts ago, she raced in Masters Company, jumped from box 6, was rattling home late behind Juno another way, run 1973. I think she's really well boxed here out wide. The 7 and the 6 both want to cut left, and I just think she'll hold her line and come home with a really strong run. Really want to take on the red runner here, Shorty. She's only had 2 starts over the track and trip. She hasn't done anything, and she's pretty much predominantly run at Launceston for her entire career. I think she'll continue to drift, and I think the 8 will firm late.
Alrighty, so we're saving the best till last there tonight there. Hobart, race 9, the Fairy Floss runner, Fancy Like, labelled the BB from Jace to round it out. So in recap tonight there at Hobart, race 1, number 4, Colt 45, the place. 5, number 1, Speak Now, the place, and the best in the last, race 9, number 8, Fancy Like. Beautifully done, Jace. Thanks as always for your time here on Great Grace. To yourself, for your family, all the very best for a happy and safe Christmas, and look forward to teaming up with you again in 2024.
Thank you, Shorty. You too, mate.
There we have it. Jaycin Campbell, this morning, where it's now 24 minutes after 10. Tuned into TAB Radio. This is Great Greys, having a look at all of the key chasing events around Australia over the next 72 hours. Our next race for broadcast will be race number 1 of the day at Seymour. Have a quick look at that market there. We see Piercing Sky, our odds-on favourite with Billy Egan to take the steer, $2.35 into $1.90. Golden Hips has gone the other way, opened at $1.80. It's out to $2.20 now. Royal Pharaoh, $4.60 out to $5.50. And then we get Big Alternate, $23 out to $26, back into $23. $51 and firm for Sparkling Addiction. She's a Snake, $126 into $101. A Claire Stasia is a $126 chance, and Jumpin' Jack Ant, $126 out to $151. They are the thoughts and the latest market movers for today's opener at Seymour. It comes up in just under 5 minutes. Time, though, now to catch up with our Hall of Famer here on Great Greys. It's always a pleasure to catch up with him each and every Thursday. He's a national treasure when it comes to the sport of greyhound racing, and it's great to be catching up with Neil Brown on this Thursday morning. Hello, Brownie.
Morning, David. Yes, looking forward to a very pleasant day here in Melbourne for greyhound racing tonight at Sandown Park. Pretty tough card, Dave, but we'll be doing our best as we always do each week.
Indeed. Let's see if we can't get your thoughts for the early quaddie. Brownie, it gets underway 4 minutes after 4 WA time, and we front up to an odds-on favourite in the form of I'm a Mustang, who's come up $1.45 on the fix with Tab Touch.
Yeah, pretty short. Looks the winner, beautifully drawn in box 1, and I'm going to take 1, 2 and 4. I'm not totally convinced, but it is a very short price. Second leg of the quaddie over the 5.15 here for the grade 6 greyhounds. And I'm going 1, 2 and 7 here. Fernando Duke for the Kayla Cockrell Kennel, I think, is nicely drawn. A nice last start winner. Race number 3, third leg of the quaddie. Here we go over the 5.15, restricted win group. And I'm pretty keen about Ethanol Water. Very impressive last week, 29.38. I'm going to take 6, 8 and 4. Very hard to go past the greyhound in box number 6. And in the fourth, the last leg of the early quad, I'm taking the inside runners here, 2, 3 and 1. And I've got Play Dirty on top down from Tatura in central Victoria. And it's racing well with 3 wins on the trot. So we'll take 2, 3 and 1. Going to the main quad tonight, 5.15 metre mixed stake. And I thought the winner would come from the inside drawn greyhounds. I'm going to take 2, 1 and 3. A couple of veterans here, Quebec Bale and Zippy Crusader. They've had about 210 starts between them and have won here on the track. They haven't won for a little while here at Sandown Park. I think they get a chance tonight. I'm going to take 2, 1, and I think the 3 Flying Redeemer has got some sort of chance in the race as well. Pretty consistent form without breaking through. Race number 6, here we go over the 5.95 tonight, and we've got a a Grade 5 stake. I think it's a pretty difficult race. These last 3 legs of the main quad are difficult. Class factor, I think a kind of Jack I've got on top. 3 to beat 8, 4 and 7. Going to take those 3 greyhounds. Hasn't won here over the 595, but gets a chance tonight. Been fairly consistent form-wise of recent time, but certainly chances in the race to 8, 4 and 7. The dog's drawn wide. Got to get across Dutch Impact and Lapina Manelli, but there's certainly chances in the race, and I think the 4's got some sort of claims as well. OK Boomer. Going to race number 7, third leg of the quaddie tonight. Here we go over the 5:15 with a free-for-all. Not a bad race. Plenty of chances. I made it 4, 8, 7 and 2. I think they've all got a chance in the race. Got Crackerjack Boom on top. A couple of nice seconds in good company to Make No Promise and Postman Pat in his last couple. I think he might go one better tonight and win, but certainly chances to the dogs drawn out wide on the track, 7 and 8 in Zippy Tesla. He's always storming home. He's going to lob one of these nights, but he is always doing plenty of work. Vaucluse Bale, also a chance from the 8, and I think the 2 I'm going to include as well. Dundee Rebel could get a nice run up on the inside from box number 2. Coming home in the last leg of the quaddie tonight, and again, not an easy race with a few chances here over the 595, a free-for-all. I made it 7, 2, 3 and 4. Went for the class factor here in Fab's Vegetable. Very impressive win last time here over the 595 and fast time of 33.93. Melbourne Cup finalist, does race well here at Sandown Park, but certainly chances to the 3 greyhounds drawn on the inside here. Sunnyside Zeus has 4 wins on the track race as well. Triumph also is very capable. I think the 4 Bella Bale could come into calculation. So pretty tough quaddie, David, for me to go wide. My best bet tonight is in race 3. I do like Ethanol Water. Looks hard to beat, and around the 2:30 mark. Very fast win in 29.38. Looks a class above, just stepping up to a 2 and 3 win stake tonight. And it does run on strong, has raced here over the 595. So race 3, number 6, Ethanol Water, our best at Sandown Park. And good luck and good punting tonight at Sandown. David, and a very Merry Christmas to all our listeners over there in WA.
Thank you very much, Leah, and it's time now to head across to South Australia, catch up with our great mate, Sean Matheson. He has been wonderful, as always, throughout the course of 2023, finding us a stack of winners from the world of SA Chasing. Joins us for the final time for this year. Welcome to you, Sean. How's everything going in your world?
Terrific. Thanks, David. Yeah, great to be on the show, and it's been terrific being on the show again for this year with you. Chatting about SA greyhound racing and helping promote the racing here in South Australia. And so you guys have been wonderful in helping that and promoting it. And hopefully we have been able to find a few winners here and there.
Oh, there's been plenty, and there's a few that stand out that were around that $20 range that you've been good enough to find for our listeners throughout the course of the year, as well as consistently finding other winners somewhere between that $2 and $5 range. So it's been really good to have you on the program right throughout the course of this year. We've got a 12-race card tonight there at Angle Park for the punters to get involved with. There's some good chasing throughout the course of the night. Adana Rico is a greyhound that has quickly emerged as one of the most talented speedsters in the state. It's been in a hot run of form over the last 6 weeks or so, Sean, and we get to see Adana Rico going around again tonight there in the Ashes feature race number 8 on the program. Draws box number 2, and it's been in sizzling form of late.
Yeah, David, I think has won 8 races in a row. Said struck form and just hasn't let go of it, and has been really dominant and running really good times as well. 30-20 around Angle Park. You're really not going to get beaten too often, and terrific for Ashley Griffiths. They've certainly got a really good team around them, and no doubt Adana Rico is the top liner at the moment. However, they've just acquired Fiorano, which is also in the final tonight. And so they've got an absolute match race here of their kennel mates, it would seem. I mean, where's Poppy from the 1? She's the Oaks winner, and she's really doing well, stepping up to open company. But definitely a race not to be missed. I think at Hana Rico, going to be short, but really hard to beat tonight. As you mentioned, David, the Ashes, it's $20,000 to the winner. But throughout the night, we've got 6 finals, $10,000 to the winner or more, over $100,000 in prize money on offer for our sort of Festival of Fire roundup of the year, Christmas night. So it's going to be a huge night here at Angle Park. And as you mentioned, just with the Ashes, that's the sort of pinnacle race, the open performers. And at Hanariko, definitely the dog to beat.
And another real emerging star. Over my time following South Australian greyhound racing, the Luna dogs have generally been producing really, really nice types. And we see a progeny out of Luna Jinx in Lena Jinx, who is emerging as a really nice stayer with Gavin Harris. And that Luna Dam line has thrown a stack of winners over a really long period of time across there in SA.
Yeah, well, Gavin, I mean, it's sort of how he breeds with his greyhounds. He loves getting those sort of middle distance and stayers, and he's had just wonderful success with them over a couple of decades, really. But as you mentioned, Luna Jinx, she was an absolute superstar, Group 1 winner, and she's produced this one, Lena Jinx, and last start, which was a few weeks ago, she came out and she beat the track record by over 3 lengths, which was held by Fantastic Radley. And we know that Zipping Neutron's been running around in South Australia and dominating the staying ranks, winning race after race after race, and also chasing the track record. And he ran third in that race, and she sort of elevated herself from potential to almost top liner in the space of one start. But she will have to back that up tonight in the final of the Blaze Race 3. She's around about that $1.30, $1.40 mark, but her potential is unlimited, I think. And if she can sort of stay sound throughout her career, no doubt there's going to be some big races, and she'll definitely be venturing across the border, I'm sure, if the way she's going.
Indeed. Looking forward to seeing the progression there of Lena Jinx, another of the highlight runners on tonight's Angle Park program. Where should we be having a bet tonight, Sean? Who do you like?
Okay, I said plenty of really good racing tonight at Angle Park, but I've got 3 best bets for the listeners. So we'll go in the first, hopefully get our money nice and early, and it's race 1, number 3, Fast Headache for Lachlan Mill. Fast Headache, 3 runs ago, won a heat of the Murray Bridge Oaks, defeated Fantastic Ada, and then was 4th without a lot of luck in the final, again behind Fantastic Ada, and stepped out on the Saturday morning heats, which were the heats of the Spark. There's a final tonight. Ran 3rd when led up and only just got run down in the final straight. Quoted at $2.60 tonight. I think that she'll be leading. If not leading, I think the 4 Peace Bell will challenge. But I think Fast Headache has shown that she's got enough strength to get over the top if she does get crossed. But if she leads, I think she's definitely got enough strength to hang on. So nice and early, race 1, number 3, Fast Headache, should lead and win with it for the listeners.
Good luck to Lockie tonight there with Fast Headache. Hopefully it can get our night off to a flyer. The second of your plays there this evening, Sean?
Second of the plays comes up in race 4, and it's number 2, All About Larry. This is the final of the Flame. Again, these heats were run last Thursday night. And this is a really interesting race where you've got nice up-and-coming dogs coming together with some sort of older dogs, and it's all about where they sort of stand on their current form. So it's a really interesting mix of dogs. But I like race 4, number 2, All About Larry, again for the Ashley Griffiths kennel. Only lightly raced, only won his maiden only 4 runs ago, but was a really impressive heat winner from a wide draw. Showed okay speed, but really good acceleration from the winning post around to the back straight and really put the race to bed at that point. I think he's going to probably run the same way. I think he'll come out okay and really accelerate at the winning post and hopefully find his way to the front. And from there, I think he can run that 30-80 time, and I think that should be too good. He's around $3.10, so one of the strong fancies in the market, but I think he's certainly an improving type.
All right, so a second of the plays tonight, race 4, number 2, All About Larry, and the third play tonight there at Angle Park.
The third is in race 7, and this is the Spark final. It's number 1, Sort of Cool for Lauren Harris. This is effectively the up-and-coming series. These heats were run on Saturday morning, just gone, and Sort of Cool, whilst running second in his heat, was a really good run behind Woodside Johnny, showed some good speed, got crossed out of the back straight, but came again to run second and running home nicely on the line. He drew box 1 in the heat, and he's drawn box 1 again tonight. But he's got some cover, I think, from the 2 Ferocious Ivy and Unholy Rain, who are drawn 2 and 3, and they'll come out running. So I think Sort of Cool will get a nice run to the first turn. And just the way he went on Saturday morning, I just think he can show enough strength to get over the top of them. There are some really nice dogs in this race, David, the likes of Woodside Johnny and Riot Rooster, but I just think from the box draw they're going to struggle just to get right in the race at the business end. So I'm looking at Sort of Cool, nicely drawn, good position early, and hopefully strong at the end.
Very nice. Race 1, number 3, Fast Headache. Race 4, number 2, All About Larry. And race 7, number 1, Sort of Cool. Good value, just under the $4 mark there for Sort of Cool. Off the inside draw there tonight. We move across to Friday, chasing at Murray Bridge.
So Murray Bridge on Friday. We'll go race 11, number 2, He's All Purpose for Tim Richards. He's been campaigning down at Mount Gambier, comes back to Murray Bridge, was a good winner there a few starts ago in 29.7. He's been a really good dog for Tim. I think he can lead this race over the 5:30 at Murray Bridge tomorrow. And once in front, I think he'll be really too hard to get past. So race 11, number 2 at Murray Bridge. Then, David, we go off to Angle Park on Saturday morning for our Saturday morning meeting. And I like race 8, number 7, Montana Lace for Don Turner. This is not an overly strong 500-metre race, and Montana Lace doesn't look like her form on paper reads very well, but she's been running against far, far stronger greyhounds than what she meets on Saturday morning. She'll be back towards the tail of the field, but she will run home powerfully. So I'm looking at her to get the win. I reckon she did do the job for us earlier in the year at one of those $20 winners. So hopefully she can do something like that on Saturday. And then to round out the week leading up to Christmas Eve, a Christmas Eve meeting at Gawler on Sunday night. Light race 1, number 2, Elegant Ritzy for Richard Stasiak. Won 2 600-metre races back in November at this track. Has the personal best time that should see her winning this quite easily. She might be a bit short, but if you can get around that $1.80, I think that'll be a good price.
All right, so it could be a good multi-builder for us there on Sunday. Race 1, number 2 at Gawler, Elegant Ritzy to go along with Angle Park Saturday. Race 8, number 7, Montana Lace, and Murray Bridge Friday. Race 11, number 2, He's All Purpose. It's around this time of the year, Sean, that all of the different panels that vote on Greyhound of the Year for the respective states get together and work through the key performers from each state and who's stood out. No doubt you'll be doing the same across there in South Australia. Victor Damien clearly springs to mind when you talk of some of the dogs that have been on that high level representing South Australia throughout the course of 2023. Which other dogs will the panel be looking at across there when they look at SA Greyhound of the Year over the next little patch?
Yeah, most definitely, David. Definitely Victor Damien, as we know what he did in the early part of the year. The likes of Zipping Neutron, which for Tim Aloisi has been a dominant factor in South Australian greyhound racing, won about 25 races during the year, a sensational performer. There was a short course dog, again for Ashley Griffiths, Cash on Delivery. And while short course dogs, they're becoming more and more prevalent in the landscape of racing. And the greyhound has gone wonderfully well over the short course, won the Murray Bridge Straight Track Cup, close to the Gawler track record, and won 20-plus races for the year. And Hana Rico has come into the mix the latter part of the year. And this is what happens, David, as you sort of mentioned, the early part of the year and the latter part of the year, dogs ebb and flow a little bit on their form. So definitely the way that Hana Rico's been going, the Gawler Cup winner at Group 3 level. So, yeah, definitely a lot for our panel to look through and look at all the different form lines and just see who will hopefully be crowned, the Greyhound of the Year in February of next year. But, yeah, some wonderful full performers throughout the year. So really looking forward to see what the 5 finalists will be.
Absolutely, and it's sure to be a gala night, as it will be across here as well in WA. I know the panel's getting together, I think, in mid-January, and similar to across there in SA, there's been some wonderful performers here in the West throughout the course of this year. Looking forward to sitting down and discussing the wares and their efforts throughout the course of the year. Sean, really do appreciate your time throughout the course of 2023. You're an elite member of our team. Look forward to doing it all over again in 2024. To yourself and your beautiful family, have a wonderful Christmas and all the very best for 2024.
Oh, terrific, David. Really appreciate that. And to you and yours and all the listeners, a happy new year and a good Christmas. And as I mentioned earlier, really thank the support that you provide SA Greyhound Racing on your program. Really look forward to it every week, being on the show and having a chat to you about it.
Good man. Thank you so much, Sean. Sean Matheson with us here on Great GREYS, and he has been outstanding throughout the course of this year. And really do appreciate his work. Always good product on a Thursday night. It's nothing like sitting back at home. You have tab radio on in the background, Sky up on the big screen, your tab touch account full of money, and follow these different races right around Australia. It's an excellent night to be involved. Thursday night greyhound racing has always been a staple for punters that love this great sport, and it continues to be a wonderful way to spend your Thursday night watching the best in the business going around Australia-wide. We're only a couple of minutes away from the next race for broadcast. It's the second of the day here at Gosford. Worth noting, punters, as well here, with that blowout result in the first, there is a first four carryover of a tick over 3,000. That pulls now more than $12,000. We front up to an odds-on favourite here in the second race of the day. It is Restonica. It's been absolutely crunched. $2.30 right into $1.34 now. Restonica. Hot Jive 3.10 out to 5. Woodlander 10 in out to 11 back into 10. GG Filet 10 out to 13. Catchy Tunes 15 out to 23. Master and Commander 26 and firm. Kirkuk 51 to 71 and Skyting 101 out to 126. But this is one-way traffic. The punters only want to be with Restonica into $1.34 now. And after that opening price of $2.30, long gone. All over Restonica here of the punters in race number 2. And as we touched on, that first four pull now in excess of 15,500. Tyler Schiller teams up with Restonica here for James Cummings. A tick over a minute away for race number 2 of the day. Let's welcome in our final guest for Great GREYS on this Thursday, the Shane Train Williams. Welcome to you, Shane. How do we find you on this Thursday?
Yeah, g'day, Shorty. G'day, listeners. Yeah, fighting fit, mate. Really well, actually, Shelby, really well. Looking forward to getting this weekend's tips out of the way.
Indeed, mate. Won't be a moment. Big year 2023. You, of course, always aim up to try and get the 100 winners for the year. How close, how far have you got to go to raise the bat for 2023?
Yeah, Shorty, it's been a good year. We've got 4 to go, and I've sent all the troops out this weekend, Shorty. We're not going to die wondering, but yeah, it has been a good year. I'll probably go back to May when we Quinella the Oaks, probably the highlight for us this year. Also third in the Group 1 Queensland Cup over in Brisbane. So with that little bishop, we had Rip and Grace. So yeah, it's been a good year, Shorty, and I think next year we're probably going to have a bit of a quieter start to the year because we've got a lot of pups in the kennel, but hopefully they can come through and be good for us towards the back end of the year.
Excellent. And moving in nicely here, punters for race 2 at Gosford. We'll throw back to Leia when we return. We'll get the thoughts from the Shane Train Williams for this weekend of chasing upcoming. Thank you very much, Leia. Yeah, just proving to be an absolute graveyard there early Gosford on this Thursday morning. Doris Skaya going under, not seen in the first at $1.60, and then all the money Restonica into $1.32 there in the second race. And again, very plain performance. Hopefully some of those faves can improve as the afternoon goes on. Let's get back to the Shane Train Williams. He's been outstanding for us throughout the course of this year, providing us with his thoughts along with Kennel Mail. And Shane, just quickly before we move on from that, good luck getting 4 winners over the line over the next 10 days before the year's out. Of course, it's been a milestone that you've had some good success with over the last couple of years, and hopefully you can sneak 1 or 2 over the line. But you talked about that bitch Rip and Grace that you had here for a really significant period of time, and it's a couple of dogs from your kennel this year that have really been outstanding performers, Rip and Grace being one of them. And we also, of course, talk of a couple of the old stages that have been in the kennel for a pretty significant period of time. And Rip and Tomahawk's one of those dogs who's also been magnificent for the kennel for a long period of time.
Yeah, he really has, Short. He's been very well sought after, and he's a very likeable dog. And I know a lot of the girls that catch him and that and like him as well. And he's obviously one of the favourites at home. He's actually, I thought his run on Friday night was outstanding. He missed the kick, and that's normally curtains for him, but he sort of drove through and got himself into a spot. And then, to be beaten 3 lengths, I thought it was not a bad run there on Friday night, Shorty. So we're going to go back there again with him tomorrow night. And that's the thing what I discussed earlier a couple of months ago, Shorty. These boxes are different. Kennington and Mandurah are totally different boxes. And when I say that, I mean the dimension. I mean, there's a lot more room in there, and the grill sizes are totally different. So, to sort of, an old dog like him, it's still, it's a bit difficult for him to work out, the boxes and that. So, but no, he's been a tremendous dog. Probably Nangar Chief's another one, Shorty. Had good success this year. He's on the comeback trail. He actually trialled today, went really well, his first trial back. So, yeah, there's been a few there that have put their hand up, and now next year, Shorty, we just need this new batch of young ones to come through and sort of take over from the older ones.
Indeed, you've got a former New South Wales stayer having its first run for you on Saturday night. They're over 715 metres. Tiger Jack, a dog I've got a little interest in. He is a dog that his best is very good. He's measured up to some of the best stayers in Australia at his top. He hasn't been at that level for a little while, but hopefully a change of environment will spark the dog up. How do you see it going over the 700 on Saturday?
Yeah, he's a very exciting dog, Shorty, and very lucky to get him in the kennel. Even though he's got a little bit of age upon him, he's a real nice dog. He's settled in really well. He hasn't put a foot wrong. He's had a couple of trials, gone really well in them. And I just think for him, Shorty, he just needs to get a bit of week-to-week racing. Obviously, Andy and Jody had their fair share of problems with him, and you see his races are always spared out a bit and not having that week-to-week racing that he needs. And I think that's it. If we can get that into him and get races for him, I think Saturday night he'll go well, but whatever he does, he'll improve on that. And that's not saying he can't win, because his trials have been good enough to win that race, and probably a little bit unlucky. It's probably the first full 8-dog field I've seen over 700 over here for a long time. And obviously we know he gets back and needs a little bit of luck, and he's a little bit clumsy. But, I think moving forward, if we get some week-to-week racing into him, Shorty, I think, he'll be a real nice dog, and he's only lightly raced for an older dog, so that won't worry him at all either. And like I said, he's settled in really well, and he's just a pleasure to have in the kennel.
Indeed. 3 minutes to go till race number 2 of the day here at Seymour Punters. Let's get your thoughts for the weekend of chasing coming up. Train kicking off tonight there at Mandurah.
Yeah, actually don't mind tonight, Shorty. I've got a couple of cherry bombers for us. We've got race 4, number 1, My, dog trained by Carl Jovanovic. Just a real good box 1 record here, Shorty. 12 starts, 6 wins and 3 placings. Carl does a wonderful job with his dogs, and I always like to try and find his dog when he draws the one in a suitable race, and I think tonight's the night. So we'll kick it off there, race 4, number 1. Go over to race 12, number 1, Sequential, dog trained by Damien Credelli. He's had 9 starts from the Cherry, Shorty, for only 1 win, but a further 6 placings. I remember him, he did beat me a couple of weeks back off the 1 box over 400. Obviously, Cody's dog's going to be hard to beat. I just thought there was a bit of speed drawn around it. Could be a bit tricky for it. So we know Sequential doesn't really mess up the start. So I think them 2 tonight, Shorty, I'm going to have a little roll-up, race 4, number 1, and race 12, number 1.
All right, on to Friday night down there at Mandurah. We've got the Dawesville Cup final. Great night of chasing. Who are you teaming up with?
Yeah, pretty keen, Crumble Manelli, Shorty, race 7, number 4. He met Lewis's dog last week. I actually tipped Lewis's dog, but I think the determining factor of that race was Crumble drew inside and he was able to hold him out. I think possibly if you reverse the boxes last week, it might have been a different result. But again, this week, Lewis's dog's going to have to cross Crumble, so I don't think it's quite possible. So he's going really well, Crumble Manelli, and obviously he'd be one of the pre-post favourites for the Birthday Cup, Shorty, coming up in a couple of weeks. So race 7, number 4, Crumble Manelli, and then we'll go over to race 11, number 1, Power of Molly. Look, this dog's got a lot of wide runners drawn outside it, and Mignon's probably the widest in WA. So it's going to get plenty of room. She's got to use the box, punch up and lead, and should be off and gone. Not quite a genuine 488 metre dog. We might get a little bit tired towards the end, but hopefully it's just the mid-race burn set up a big break there. So 2 for Friday, 7-4 and 11-1.
All right, we've got Seymour race 2 coming up. It's a Mozza 320, firm favourite there. High Security 420 into 4, Talus Drive 8 into 6, and Battle Fleet's been 5 out to 7. Yahoo Bar 21 into 11. A bit over a minute until race number 2 of the day there at Seymour. And we switch to Saturday night, Cannington, Shano?
Yeah, Saturday night, Cannington Shorty, race 8, number 1, Custard Manili. It did run second to Adam Smithson's dog there last week, but they've swapped the boxes. Custard drew outside of it, and now it draws underneath it. So I think it might be able to punch up and hold it out. And it didn't disgrace itself last week. It only got beat a couple of lengths in fast time. So I'm going to go Custard Manili, race 8, number 1. And then we've got to wait till the last Shorty, which will be very late for the punters to stay up. But race 12, number 7, Speedy Willow. A dog with good early speed, and it's really well drawn out wide there. So 8, 1 and 12, 7 on Saturday night.
And the best from the kennel?
I think the best from the kennel, we've got a lot of runners over the weekend, Shorty, but race 10, number 1, Bronte Blazer. She had a stint over 500 last week. We've given her a really quiet week. She's drawn the cherry, doesn't normally waste it. So race 10, number 1, Saturday night, Bronte Blazer.
Race 10, number 1, Bronte Blazer. They're moving in nicely here for race 2, Seymour. Shane, I appreciate your time right throughout the course of this year. To yourself and all of your team, have a ripper Christmas, New Year break, and wishing you all many winners for 2024.
Thanks so much, Shorty. Merry Christmas to everyone.